People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back!
Hello YouTube and welcome to the nation of free to play. I'm Mr. Mondstadt and today I will have a look at the banners of version 5.4 as the livestream just announced who you can pull for in the next patch. But should you as an F2P? Make sure to stick around till the end to find out. In the first half of version 5.4 we will get Yume Mizuki as well as the first rerun of our Melusine nurse Sigewinne. But let's take a look at the new 5-star first, Mizuki. Mizuki is an Anemo catalyst from Inazuma that works as a swirl on-field carry while also providing some healing to your active character. Based on the footage from the livestream, we can assume that she works in a similar way Sucrose does. As an Anemo catalyst, all normal attacks are automatically infused with Anemo. However, if you expect another normal attacking swirl enabler, you are mistaken. Mizuki's kit revolves mostly around her elemental skill and burst. Once you use her skill, she will enter a special state where she floats around the battlefield. In this state, your swirl damage will be increased, however, you will not be able to deal any normal or charged attacks. So instead, you want to hover around with her to deal the most damage. As a result of that mechanic, you also want teammates that can deal elemental damage from off-field and that don't require normal attacks. So Furina, Yaemiko, Lisa or Marika should work well, while Xingqiu or Yelan are kinda wasted. Mizuki will probably scale on elemental mastery, as this makes the most sense to max out her swirl damage. A 4-piece Viridescent Veneral artifact set with EM main stats are very likely the way to go. Her elemental burst will spawn multiple snack clouds on the field. Once you collect these snacks, they will trigger one of two effects based on your active character's HP. If your HP is low, you will be healed, and if your HP is almost full, the snacks will deal AoE Anemo damage. Basically, that seems to be Mizuki's playstyle. You set up your off-field team, swap to her, use her bursting skill and then float around and collect all the snacks. It sounds definitely very different from other playstyles, but we have to wait until her release to know the full truth. So that all sounds nice, but, and that is a big but, Hoyo also announced that Mizuki will be added to the standard banner soon, so this is and will be her only limited banner. That also means though that you will be able to lose your 50-50 to her in the near future, and if you're unlucky, or lucky if you think about it, then you can select her as your free 5-star for the next anniversary rewards. The developers already told us last time that they will add more characters to the standard banner that you will be able to select for free in the future, and Mizuki is exactly that. So all of that considered, you won't be surprised if I tell you to not pull on a limited banner if you're free to play. Instead of spending your hard-earned primos, just stay patient and get her for free in a couple of months. The second character in the first half of version 5.4 is Sigewinne. Our Melusine nurse gets her first rerun already, and when I say nurse, you can probably already guess what her true strength is. Exactly. Sigewinne's value lies in her healing, and to be honest, her healing alone. But from the start, she is a Hydro bow user who scales off HP, so the 3-star weapon recurve bow is basically her second best choice behind her signature. Her skill shoots bubbles, and each time they bounce, she heals you back up by quite a lot, so maxing out Furina's fanfare should not be a problem at all. Her burst is like a Melusine version of Neuvillette, but that also means Melusine scaling damage. To be honest, there's not much that speaks for Sigewinne, and especially after the release of Xylonen, she is pretty much always a worse healing option for your team. So I guess she's only interesting if you pull for her character and her design, but meta-wise, she is a rather easy skip. In the second half of version 5.4, we will have the long-awaited rerun of Wriothesley alongside the Star Fontaine Furina. Furina counts as the Archon rerun of this version, and this will probably be her last rerun until 6 point something. since this is her second rerun already. So bear that in mind. Furina is one of the most broken, if not the best support unit in the game, as she deals massive damage with her 3 shrimp friends from off-field, while also giving huge damage buffs to your entire party. No matter what element, no matter the reaction, she makes pretty much any team so much better. To max out her potential, you want to level her burst as much as you can and make sure your party's HP changes all the time. While she herself will drain your HP, you ideally want a healer on your team that makes up for that. Sigewinne, Charlotte, Cloud Retainer or Jean are only some options. If you do that, you will get up to 75% damage bonus, so you can make anyone look really strong. Plus, Furina is also one of the best characters for the overworld. She lets you walk on water, while her shrimps passively deal with enemies or puzzles. Also, her skill is extremely useful against very annoying opponents, because her shrimps can shoot down enemies and attack them no matter where they are. So, if you look at recent Abyss floors, you will know what I'm talking about. Overall, Furina is very close to a must pull in Genshin, and I think I can stop here, because everyone should know by now how broken she is. Anyway, let's move on to Wriothesley. The chief of the fortress is finally coming back around, and I know that many of you have waited for his first rerun after his release in version 4.1. Wriothesley is a cryo catalyst DPS who works both in freeze and reverse melt scenarios, but you can also just run him with any good supports like Furina, Bennett or Sigewinne. He will punch your opponents with cryo infused attacks and deal a lot of damage, but not quite as much as other DPSs that have been released since he first came out. It's been a long time. However, he probably still is the strongest cryo DPS in the game, at least in most scenarios. He is kinda F2P friendly in the sense that you will be able to get a decent crit ratio with him without too much effort. He ascends with crit damage, while Marechaussee Hunter is still super efficient to farm, and the set gives you 36% crit rate for free. If you have a Widsith, it is a good 4-star weapon that will give him more crit damage and useful passives, especially in melt teams. If you want to max out his performance, his C1 is a big upgrade, but don't feel forced to get it. Overall, Wriothesley is a more than solid on-field carry that is rather flexible in terms of team comps. While he is not in the same tier as Neuvillette or Mavuika, he is still very good, and if you like his character and playstyle, now might be the time to pull for him. So these are the 4 limited 5-star characters. I mentioned everything, which means it is now time for my priority pull rating. The first spot goes to Furina. She is one of the best units in the game, and if you don't have her yet, I would advise you to get her if possible. I got her on her first rerun and I've used her all the time in Abyss. She's fun, strong and flexible. Slap her on any team and she will give you an upgrade. In the second spot there is Wriothesley. As I said, he is a strong cryo DPS, not more, not less. So not a bad pull by any means, but also not necessary for most accounts. The third spot goes to Sigewinne. I wouldn't really recommend her unless you really like her character and design. Her healing is great, but there are other healers in the game that provide more than just restoring HP, so I would skip her once more, but that's just me. And in the fourth spot we have Mizuki. This simply because she will be standard soon and you can even get her for free in a couple of months, so don't spend your pulls on her. Overall, I think this is a pretty great skip lineup for most F2P accounts that already have or don't want Furina. Who will you go for? Personally, I will skip this patch because I already have Furina on my account and I don't really want Wriothesley. Also, I don't think Sigewinne would add a lot of value to my account, and as I said, Mizuki is gonna be standard soon, so I will just wait and get her later. Anyway, this brings us to the end of this video. Let me know your pulling plans in the comments down below. Also, if you liked this video, please leave a like or subscribe to the channel. Thanks again for watching, good luck on your pulls, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!